If I unmuted my mic. Dang it. They heard me. The stream did not. Whoops. Yeah, man of many hats, game master and technical director, and currently failing at one. At any rate.
It's a game of percentages, man.
It is. It is. Actually, quick story along those same lines. I did actually used to work for a small UHF TV station called TV 53 way back in the day out in California. And I was a technical director for a bit. One of the shows I did technical directing for was a Spanish gospel show. Now, I know jack about Spanish. All I knew is when the guy would start saying like "El nombre de Jesus" and he would say it like several times. That was my cue to change cameras.
And Tio Rico means rich uncle, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Gotta keep the cue for that one.
Was that an important part of the program?
No, it's just something he said a whole lot. So that was kind of like
the rich uncle thing.
Rich uncle. I have no idea.
That is a big thing in Spanish culture, man. Everybody's got a rich uncle, man, that you got to borrow money from.
But as you can tell, we're all grabbing last bites to eat and snacks and whatnot. I am happy to be back with Firefly. Getting a lot of buzz over on one of the Facebook groups, so super excited about that. We accidentally posted a bit too much. I posted the advert. Brittany then posted the same advert in the group, and then the guy who I was chatting with, I guess, wanted to share it, but he turned around and shared it in the same group we were chatting in.
Awesome.
So we have like three comments with the big old picture for Firefly Outlaws.
You damn spammers!
I know exactly.
Hey, I better repost that to my actual friends.
Yeah, so actually I'm expecting a Goramit or something appropriate in universe for the spam, but Gomen Nasai. Nevertheless, so where we last left off with the game, which I gave them a brief write-up, so if you're new to the show, we're actually only one episode in. The first episode, everybody got together, kind of met one another on the Will-O-Wisp, which was an Exeter-class transport, which we had pictures up on the last game. If you want to check it out, you can. Exactly, was. Something happened to the ship. It took quite a bit of damage, and it went down on this frozen wasteland of a planet that you can see scrolling through the pictures currently on the live stream. That's where it actually crash landed, and unfortunately for our erstwhile heroes, their important gear was secured in a different part of the ship that was sheared away and is somewhere in this frozen wasteland. However, they, in use of the burning wreckage and some remaining I keep trying to say towels, but they weren't towels. They were blankets and pillowcases, and managed to bundle themselves up enough, and sheets, to run as fast as they could to this desolate former military facility. They managed to break into the door.
Don't go into section 2. Don't go into section 2.
Yeah. If you were able to overhear that, you may have been. Rebecca was reliving some trauma from a Rifts game that I played, which is kind of a similar circumstance. They stumbled onto an abandoned base.
I miss Rifts, man.
But don't go into section 2. So if you ever get the chance, talk to Rachel. Played in that game. Rebecca played in that game. Both are players in the vampire game. It was very bad.
Okay.
It was sealed off for a reason. Let's put it that way. So they managed to break into this facility here. As soon as they got in, they realized that some of the stuff was outdated. They managed to find some coats from the Independence. which they promptly threw on to get warm. They cranked over an independent generator, which kicked on some heaters in the room, which of course got them nice and toasty. But where we left off, they heard a disturbance outside the sealed door.
Groaning.
Groaning.
All right. Of course, it's always
And we were
about
thinking it might be
revenge.
the big R.
Thank you for the follow, Stump-O-Matic. And as always, whenever you hear the very perturbed Alan Rickman claiming it's all about you, we have received another follower. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Nice.
So where we pick up, you guys have managed to make contact with Security Officer Cheng. You did manage to get that device plugged up to a small system within this room, and you're awaiting. At this point, you're awaiting his reply, and of course, you've just sealed off that door. And of course, since Todd, you weren't with us, we did give you that rundown in there. Todd is currently playing the good doctor who was also crash landed on this planet, starting to look a little bit like a demented Gilligan's Island.
Is Ginger here?
Yeah, we need a rich guy, man.
Rich guy isn't going to help you here.
The rich uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
Tio Rico. What's Tio Rico?
Tio Rico. Would you settle for Rico Suave?
My
I
dad's
would.
got
I would.
Rico Suave. All right, so the radio, of course, is still playing. It's tuned into the Armed Forces Radio Network for the Independents, which all it's really doing is just kind of playing a sample broadcast over and over. Some old music, you guys have already heard it. It's, at least 10 years out of date at this point. So now that you know what's going on, and you do have a rifle. And I think you had 3 rounds for it, or 5 rounds?
Oh, shoot. Who's got it?
That is not enough.
I believe Missy took it.
He's got.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want it.
He's like, I'm a doctor, damn it, I'm not a sniper.
Exactly.
We were needing to establish communication outside, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, the relay tower or whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's sounds.
Yes, there are sounds outside the door. Thankfully, though, the door is secure. You have to winch the crank itself, like those old submarine doors that have got that turning wheel on it.
Good old turning wheels, man.
Are there any like air vents or something that would take us out of the room so we can avoid opening the door?
That is a great question. There are air vents, however, they're not big enough to fit people in. At best, you could probably fit a small dog.
Bummer.
And this is just a one-room area that we're in right now.
Yes, currently, basically, as it was described in the last game, it was probably a bunk, like a bunker / security checkpoint. There were like 4 bunks up against the wall. And of course, there had been the remains of a weapon rack and the coats and whatnot. So everybody has got some they're old and it's it beat up, but you've got some old jackets that you can wear to keep warm. The room itself really doesn't have much outside of it, outside of the busted up terminal that's there, that's partially in use, that you managed to connect the data box to that you had taken, essentially the jump drive, as well as just the generator, which is currently going. So it's just a single room sort of generator. Not really portable, but if you have to pick it up for some reason, you could, like a 2-man sort of thing, carry it along. But you have to disconnect it, obviously, too. And then there's like 2 heaters in here that illuminate, that are currently illuminating the room with kind of an orangish red hue as it's warming everything up.
There's
And
no placard
there's no
on.
food lot. Okay.
And of course, there's a door that exits out to the rest of the compound. If you want a good example, as the pictures are scrolling around, this is kind of what you're looking at for the facility. One of them is the exterior, and then the other 2 shots are the front and back.
There's no placard on the wall with building schematics or anything like that from what we can see.
No, it looks like there may have been at some point in time. Like the placement is there, but whatever was there may have been paper or maybe like a laminate or something, and it was clearly taken down.
Okay. So where is this communication relay again?
You don't know exactly. You did have a rough estimate when you guys were coming up to the building because you were able to kind of see the silhouette of it in the background. You can either go exploring for it by exiting out the door, not the one you came in, but the door that leads into this facility proper, or you can try and see if Cheng can help you. Because remember, he was somewhere else in the facility, but he was trying to find out where he was at that point.
Gotcha. Our communication, is it just through like a PA system?
No,
Is that
no,
how
no.
we're talking?
It's a very short range communication with your with the actual computer that you plugged that drive into.
Okay. But so what I'm running into is he doesn't know his orientation. So if we say orientating ourselves from the door we came in, is he going to know what the heck we're talking about?
You don't know. It's a good question. I mean,
Okay.
your 2 choices here is to try and reach out to him if you can, which it may need, the system itself may need some sort of repair or a jerry rig to get it more operational. Or you can go explore and collect information and come back to try and reach him at a later date.
Okay. Well, there's only one machinist I know around here. I don't know if she can fix this stuff. I'm down to explore, but
It's not really my thing, but I can take a look.
you're the one that speaks the most Italian, man.
Poor mommy.
Okay.
She's like, I don't know what pasta has to do with fixing a computer, but okay.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, but but we got to get this relay working.
Yeah, I'd love to help, but I mean, I'll help in any way possible that I can. I do you have any working technical knowledge of this kind of apparatus? I know it's not gears, but
I mean,
Go ahead and try calling him.
I guess I can
Hey.
try.
Hey, Chang.
Should I roll to take a look at the equipment then?
Absolutely.
And that
First
means
roll of the night.
mental.
Oh, that's right. You also had the gambler with you too.
Is that Tracy?
That
Tracy,
was-
man.
That
I
was
need
Tracy.
one set of dice, right? I forgot.
You do, yes.
Good thing I have a bunch of dice with me.
So for you, you're going to need mental and craft.
Craft?
Yes.
Okay.
How many do you have in craft?
I have a D4.
Nice.
Craft is not my thing.
Gotcha. It's still more than I have.
Do you have maybe some distinctions that might help?
No. Not for this.
I know medical equipment, but I don't know if I'm going to know. I mean, I can walk up and can I look at just some basic, engineering aspect of it, because I do know medical equipment. So
You do medical. You do. I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, if you would like to, throw in and help, you are welcome to.
yeah, I want to come over there and talk to Poppy. I'm just throw my 2 cents in, like saying, I had to work on medical equipment I was on when I was doing my rounds and everything like that. So I don't know, what plug goes where, I might have a little bit there.
Sure. So you can go ahead and roll your mental and craft as well.
Okay.
You know what? While we're at it, I think I might want to help as well, because I have craft and I have fix. Would fix?
Yeah, I'm good with
All
fix,
right.
but I can't.
Of
I'm
course,
good
it's
with this
always
as well.
about you, isn't it?
But craft
Thank you, Artemis Gray, for the follow.
Yay!
Yay!
Nice. Hello.
Hello there.
Okay, well,
So it sounds like
Boy.
so it sounds like it may be a team effort. So it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, then maybe Poppy and the doctor are going to kind of supervise based upon their know-how, and perhaps the mercenary is going to use her trigger fingers to see about navigating the computer system, delicate fingers wise, because you have some skill at fix.
I've got quite a bit in fix as well.
I mean, should I roll fix, because I can do a lot better with that, or am I crafting?
Well, let's see. I mean, we might be able to go either. Hold on a second.
But if not, I actually rolled pretty well, so
Oh, no take backies.
Yeah, no take back.
saying I'm
So-
either way.
Why don't why don't we just go with mental and fix with everybody, and just tell me what you get collectively. While Eric's character Nolan watches the door.
I have
Give me
a
that
12.
I did better last time.
Okay, I've got a 13, but I have a 13, but I rolled a 10 on my 10-sided dice. Do I get to roll something again, or?
Let me double check. Again, I apologize, folks, for watching. We're all new to the system. Myself as well.
Actually, I did not bad. I got 14.
Nice.
Sorry, I was rolling the wrong die.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure there was I'm almost positive. Yeah, extraordinary success. So here we go. Let's see. Oh, I get it. Okay. So no, it was so like if there's an extraordinary success on what it was that you would be doing. So not a bunch.
I did actually get 14 out of 14.
Oh, nice.
But I don't think this game works that way.
Yeah, I got a 13 on mine, but I got that 10, so I just didn't know if I needed to roll.
Yeah.
Reroll.
No. You don't have to re-roll, but you guys all do exceptionally well, kind of teaming up in the heat of the moment.
Plug it in there.
Yeah. So between your collective know-how, from either having to work on something and jerry rig it, medically, or parts of a weapon, or Missy, in your case, like a vehicle, or something that needed quick rewiring. You guys were able to isolate a couple areas that looks like if you steal from Peter to pay Paul, somewhere else in the system, you can probably patch those pieces together and at least repair some system access to this computer itself, or to the data pad that's here in the desktop. So you take about 40 or so minutes, taking your time, not only to warm up, but to be as careful as you can because you really only have the one shot with it. Because Brittany's character Poppy is so good, or I should say, has seen her father put together weapons with less. She's able to, find some bonding element that's equivalent to gum or something to keep it, pinned down, long enough so that way it'll operate correctly without shocking the hell out of everybody.
My
My
God.
MacGyver runs in my family too,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But you do pretty good. The communications terminal to this particular system is, for lack of better terms, fully operational. There is a distinct lack of power in the facility. So that is a problem. But the generator that is in the room is partially powering anything that's attached to this room. So as far as communications are concerned, obviously you don't have a global communication, but you can attempt to speak to other parts of the facility if they're in operation.
Well, let's call Chang.
All right. Who wants to take the helm?
Who's the leader?
Not it.
I'll call him, man.
All right.
Give me that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking up. You said there was bunks in here, right?
Yes, there are.
Bunks? Yeah.
I want to rip up the sheets for bandages in case we need them.
Okay? I'll allow that. They're not the most sanitary, but you can still use them to staunch the staunch wounds if necessary.
Cool.
Because they're pretty tattered and nasty looking. Because they're old as hell.
Right, but it's better than nothing.
Exactly, but it is better than a gushing wound.
Right.
So if you want to mark that down someplace that you do have a one-time use of bandages.
You got it.
Cool.
All right, so Nolan, you after about 2 or 3 attempts at trying to cut through there, because there's quite a bit of static still.
Gotcha.
You do end up hearing a pretty hollow voice. From the signal, it's coming through. And he's and you end up hearing this. Hello.
Breaker 19 Nolan. This is Nolan Chang. You got your ears on, big buddy. Come back now.
And then you hear this like, what? Okay, no, yeah, I hear you.
Chang, when we came in, there was a big door. We came from the wreck. I'm not sure where your orientation was or how you came into the building. Where we came at, there was a big, squat, I would say, rectangular door that we were able to get through. Do you know, or do you remember seeing anything like that?
No. Well, not specifically. I think I came through the back somewhere. It was really hard to tell. There was a lot of snow. I think I'm in an auxiliary communications room. I think almost everything here is completely powered down.
Okay.
Did you happen to see like one of those generators or something?
Yeah.
We got a generator in the room where we're at right now. It's running power to like our local room, but it's actually operational. We've got a little bit of heat here.
Yeah.
But
I saw something like that here too.
Okay, you weren't able to trip it?
No, yeah, it's going, but
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. I've only got minimal power here, so I don't know where exactly you're at. But if you give me, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes or something, let me see if I can find schematics or something. Somebody's got to have something here that tells us where the hell that relay's at.
Got you. That's what we're trying to figure out. If we have to go outside, we need to minimize our time and get straight there and straight back because we don't want to be outside for for too long. But
So can you
no
tell me
matter,
what it looks like on the inside?
we're in some kind of. It looks like a, for lack of a better term, a bunker. There's beds here. There was a an almost empty weapons rack. We got a rifle and a couple rounds. But that's about it.
All right.
Very low light.
Okay. Let me see if I can find you on the map first, and then where we need to go from there. So give me a little bit.
Okay,
I'm gonna turn off the comm to save power.
Same. Just hit me up whenever you're ready, man.
Let's do 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. We'll say that he set it for like 20.
All right.
So he'll try and call back in 20.
Hey, man, is that scratching still going on?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, you do hear the howling wind outside, but you don't hear anything like moving around outside that.
Okay, that's a relief.
Hey, Lee, can I take a look at that rifle?
Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and hand you the rifle.
I'm gonna look it over.
Okay. So you recognize the design. It actually came from the foundries that your father had back during the war.
Is it in good working order? Does it look like it needs a little TLC?
It could probably use some TLC since it's been here in the cold the whole time, but that's also the benefit. Since it was metal, it wasn't really exposed to elements that much. So if you could probably find some, a little bit of gun oil, it's good to go.
All right, I'm gonna poke around the room, see if I can find something.
Okay. So you're poking around the room just because it's not terribly big. You're probably gonna have to break open a footlocker or two to find out if there's anything like that of that nature. And then Nolan, you end up kicking the communications line back on, and when you do, actually, you notice the generator in the room fluctuate a little bit from the power drain.
Little draw. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of draw because it's got the heaters going now too. So that same hollow voice comes on. Chang tells you, he's like, okay, so I think I know where you're at.
Good.
And I think I know where I'm at. That's the good news. Bad news is, from what I can tell, the main passage between you and I is completely broken. If I had to take a guess, I think an explosion or something hit it because it's all kinds of messed up. Completely exposed the elements. It looks like there's a ton of snow or ice in the way.
So what would be the shortest route around then?
So the only way around that is going to lead you partially exposed.
I understand. I figured as soon as you said explosion that we were gonna have to be outside at least for a little while.
So I think if you can get up to the catwalk from where you're at, it will obviously put you in direct exposure to the cold, but you should be able to see the relay on your way there.
Okay.
Now, the other kicker is we don't have any communication devices outside of what we have here. I don't know how many of these generators there are in each centered location. From what I can tell here, because I'm looking at a manifest, it looks like they had several as backups whenever there was a really bad storm. So I would imagine there's some more laying around.
We just gotta find them.
Right.
Okay. Top priority is gonna be that relay, man.
Well, here's the other thing. We don't have power to the base. And in order to get that relay online, we have to restore the power.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to take that catwalk. If I have this right, and I'm almost 100% positive I do, you're gonna need to exit the door leading out of that bunker, and there should be a building, probably, I don't know, maybe like a commissar or something. Like it looks like it was some sort of a utility room, possibly equipment room or something.
Okay.
You may have seen something attached to it. I'm looking at a partial map, and it looks like if I've got this right, you're going to go through there. You need to hang. Well, we don't even know which way is north, south, east, or west right now. So for your directions, go right.
Right once I get in.
Yeah, there now. You'll see the door that's going to lead to the main hallway. Obviously, you won't be able to go through that.
Okay.
But there are stairs that go up that actually go to a main catwalk that goes across the whole thing. I guess this is centered really close to a ravine. So the catwalk was used for surveillance purposes.
Okay. And are all the catwalks exposed, or is it just the one
yes.
going? Okay.
But this is the main one. Hopefully this is the only one you're going to have to cross. I'm going to try and figure out the rest of the base from here. I don't even know how we're going to get in communication with one another.
How far is a walk between us and them? Can I hear this conversation? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's coming out of the computer itself.
All right. So how far of a walk are we looking at between us and you?
You're looking at maybe 25 yards.
Okay. That shouldn't be super bad.
No, it's not long. It's going to be cold. So, were you able to find anything better than the blankets?
We've got a couple coats here, and then still the blanket, so that should suffice.
Okay.
While he's on the comm, I'm going to help Poppy look through everything, like whatever we can find.
Okay. You end up finding in the foot lockers, you find 3 flares that are still usable. You do find a med pack.
Yay!
Now the obviously the any gel that was inside of it is worthless, but it will still work for bandaging purposes.
Okay.
And you also find 2 packs of MREs.
Real ready.
No gun oil, huh?
Yes, and you find some gun oil.
Yay!
Postscript.
And of course, the small little tools you would need to clean.
Yay! I'm gonna while they're talking, I'm just gonna tinker.
Okay, and clean up the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no problem. So I think the top priority here, if I'm going to guide you through this, is before we can even do that, we need to find some sort of communications gear, some sort of working radio or something you can take with. If I'm looking at this partial floor plan, there may be something in that building adjacent to you that you can use.
Okay. Let's go. All right, we're gonna go search there. Hang tight. We'll call you back. I'll say 15 minutes if we find anything.
All right, powering down.
Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna head over and see what I can see.
Okay. So,
with you.
all right. Are you waiting for the rifle to be finished cleaning, or are you just heading out?
I'm just gonna head out, man.
Okay.
I figured that I'll let her have her time, and since we didn't hear any sounds, I'm not gonna be too worried about it.
Okay. So same operation here. You have to put a lot of muscle into the door to get the winch on it to turn, but you get that cranking, and it's that god awful sound of metal on metal, grinding, because it's been here for quite a while, so it's had time to stick.
I can help him open the door too. That's like.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
want me to come with? Oh wait,
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, the more eyes, the better.
Nolan,
So, and Jan is with you as well. The gambler
I thought it was Tracy.
or Tracy, sorry.
Is
It
Mike?
changed.
Names.
You didn't think that was a real name, did you?
Yeah, exactly.
Tracy Jan.
No,
Is it
Tracy.
wild card?
But Tracy hands one of you guys a flare.
Cool.
She says it's going to be dark outside. We're not going to have the light of the wreck. You're going to need one.
Okay.
All right, Nolan, are you going? You want me to go? Because I don't think more than 2 should go out there right now.
Let's both of us go.
I'm saying Nolan. I meant Lee. I'm sorry.
No.
No,
Oh, come on.
at this
That's very
point,
generous.
I don't think it's a good idea that we leave one person alone in here, especially with how difficult it is to open the door. So maybe you should hang back.
All right, so you and Nolan are going, and Poppy and I'll stay, and Tracy.
If we're not back in 15, then
I got another flare here, so.
I would say just go to Plan B. But you know.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys managed
call
to
the president.
exactly. Well, what was the line? If I'm not back by morning, call the president.
Call the president.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who? Jack Burton. Me. God, I love that movie. Sorry.
Me too,
That
man.
needs to be an RPG. Just straight up. We need a Big Trouble in Little China RPG.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Well, they have a board game.
Did they really?
Yes, it's actually
That's
a very
rad.
classy looking board game.
Yeah.
So you winch that door back open, and as soon as you do, that biting cold starts blowing into the room.
Got you.
As, as you realize this part of the building that you guys saw coming up, this is that one that was partially demolished.
Got you.
So it's exposed the elements all over again. Thankfully, though, you've got your coats on, you're bundled up some, and you've got a flare, so you have some ambient light. Of course, that they shut that door real quick.
Got you.
And at this point, I need you guys to look around.
All right, man.
We're looking for mental and notice.
So if it's an 8 and a 4, that's what I roll, right? It's an 8.
Yes,
8 and
a
a 4.
D4 and a D8.
I have the roll of 5.
All
got 10.
right.
I got 10.
Missy's over there. She's like, I've got Threve.
Oh, Missy, that sucks.
I know.
Well, that was Celebrity Jeopardy. It's like, and let's see. And you said the number Threve. That's not even a real number.
You're all gonna try again, please.
That's not even a real number yet. And how much did you wager? $11 billion.
1D1.
You are welcome, Jess. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. We love you.
Love you too.
Okay, so you do manage to poke around. Yeah, Lee, this is not your thing. You didn't sign off on this. You certainly didn't co-sign on the paperwork. You've already had it with this cold. Screw this noise. Even though the jacket is kind of retro and nice, definitely not the vacation you planned on. So, I mean, really, you're trying to look around, but you're more focused on the fact that you're just in a shit show. And no, this is just not happening.
As I'm walking, I'm gonna gently nudge Nolan with my open palm to hurry up. I'm belligerent, silently belligerent.
I'll open my eyes wider then.
So you do end up kind of poking around. unfortunately, you're out in the cold probably longer than you really would like to. Again, you're able to withstand it more because of the coats, but and you're not in the direct wind because the building itself, although while partially collapsed, you're not always in the direct line of the chill, the wind factor, I should say. There we go.
Gotcha.
You do, after kind of walking or the perimeter of the building some, you can tell where exactly maybe lockers would have been placed to store, goods like this. So after about another 40 minutes or so, just in this cold, it's not fun, and the flare is just it's not providing the best light. I mean, I know you guys have seen the thing.
Oh yeah,
Flare,
that's immediately what I thought of too.
Yeah,
Man.
flares in pitch black, not the greatest. Use it if you have to.
Gotcha.
But you do see a cage, and the cage itself looks like it may have been locked at one point in time. The door itself is kind of broken open and in a mangled, twisted sort of form. Not like something like ripped it off or whatnot, but like the top is kind of bent back and whatnot, and it's rusted. But I mean, it's still easily accessible. Okay. There are some shapes on the inside, however, so it looks like maybe this may have been like a holding gate or something where they kept some of their gear, on lockdown.
Okay, I want to try and inspect it further.
Okay, so you two heave ho the gate, or I should say the fence, the opening to it out of the way, which isn't too hard. Mostly it was the snow and ice just trying to get it pushed past, and it bent past it. You do see that there is a backpack back here as well. It's still serviceable. Okay. And you also see that there appears to be a compact. Think military, like World War II radio boy who carried the compact on his back.
Gotcha.
Bent over antenna and everything.
I'm gonna sling the backpack across my back and grab that compact.
Okay.
And get the fuck out of there.
Okay. And you also find in here that they're and they're on the ground, which got disturbed as you push some of the snow and ice around. You find 2 K-bar knives.
Oh, cool.
And there is a pistol.
All right, man. I'm gonna shove the 2 knives in each of my back pockets.
Okay.
And then I immediately take one of the knives and put it in my boot.
Do you grab my ass?
Yeah.
Hey. All right, man. I'm gonna look at it real quick and be like, okay, and then I'm gonna grab the gun in my free hand.
Okay.
And when you look at me, I'm just gonna be like, what are you gonna dual wield? I mean, come on.
I was gonna carry him back and then dole him out when we got there.
You can dole one out to me right now.
It's cold. Let's go.
You got Nolan channeling the Bill Cosby here all of a sudden. You got us out in the cold and the freezing and the pudding and just gotta get inside and which is probably appropriate because you're cold enough. You're getting full sentences out right now is not the easiest task. But
talking in shorthand.
Yeah, you're just kind of like grabbing what you can, and just kicking the rest of that gate out of the way. Yeah, I just like with your hand just fucking run sort of thing, and you bolt back to the door and pound on the door to get somebody to open it, and that grinding of metal as the folks on the inside get that pull back. And so, the good doctor and Poppy,
and Tracy Jan
and Tracy, all help you guys, pull in, and of course they pull that door and close that shut. Do you just leave the flare outside rather than leave it lit on the inside?
It, so.
Yeah, that's staying outside.
Okay. Yes, you just toss out. It's going to provide a little bit more ambient light for a bit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
all right. But they come back. They've got some goods. When you've had a chance to open up the backpack, there is a canteen full of water, frozen solid. So if you let it thaw, you will have some drinkable water. And you do end up finding a clip for the pistol.
Awesome.
How many rounds in that clip?
There are 10 rounds total.
Wow.
Cool. I'll slap the mag into the pistol, and then I'm gonna hand the compact to Poppy. Say, figure this one out.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, same thing. I mean, she just skillfully pulls it apart, and this one's a little bit worse because it was exposed to the elements, and frozen directly. So she's having to take some time to get everything loosened back up with the oil and whatnot. But after an hour of you guys getting warmed back up, trying to let the water thaw to an extent, and let that weapon get undone or get unjammed, you do have 2 serviceable firearms and 2 knives.
Cool. I'm gonna hand the knife that I have to the doctor if he's wanting it.
Oh yeah, I'll take a knife.
Okay.
All right, man.
And we're gonna make sure we call Chang about 15 minutes in. We said we call him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So while they were doing that, then at that point, then I'll allow you guys to decide who's gonna talk to Chan while they're collecting the gear.
Yeah, as we were in there 40 minutes, he said.
I'll give him a call because I spoke last time to him.
Sure,
So.
that's fine. All right, so Chang comes online.
I go, they're still out there. That once they got past,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're doing. They
All
haven't
right.
come back. So.
So he's like, so I'm sorry, who is this again?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Buford.
Dr. Kane?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Sorry. All right, look, I managed to locate the generator furnace here.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to need you guys, if you can get down there to turn it on, I can probably start restoring remotely power to certain parts of the facility that still can operate. The thing is, it's past the catwalk. It is near the main facility, but it's underground.
All right.
How do we get down there?
There's a service tunnel shortly after that main catwalk that what would have been near the entrance of the main, or I should say the main hallway going from where you're at into the main facility that leads down into the bowels of this facility.
Well, Poppy,
Like a
it's something
service
you and I are doing that because with them, when they get back here, they're going to need to warm up. So once they get back, we can take our shot going out.
Okay, I guess we could do that.
Go for it, Poppy.
Chen, we'll wait about a half an hour. We'll give you a call back because I want to give them time to come back here. We'll talk about the plan at that point. And we'll give you a call back.
All right. One more thing. Are you guys hearing howls?
We heard them earlier. Yeah, like some groans and howls.
I heard some scratching.
Okay. Because I don't think we're here alone.
Oh, great.
I unfortunately don't have anything that tells me what planet this is, which is concerning, because normally that would come up on like your astrogation charts or something that would tell us where we're at, and I got nothing. So that tells me this facility was purposely kept off the maps.
Like a black site.
Well, are we talking like rumored Reavers kind of thing going on right now, or
Reavers? I don't know about that. I mean, Reavers are men, right?
Oh.
I mean, they would have the same problems with the cold as we would, right?
I don't know. I've never worked on a reaver before. I just know stories.
They're making human pig chimeras in here, man.
Well, it's a good thing you got a doctor along to identify that.
There we go.
He's like, no, we're good. That's just a Roswell alien.
Yeah, seen those.
Yeah, I know.
Dime a dozen. No
All
problem.
hooked up together, dude, like a human centipede. That's nice. That's cool.
Oh no!
Let's keep going. Let's go.
Just face palming independence. Like, how is that going to help you save the war? That's just gross.
Oh.
All right. So if I find out more, I'll try and let you know.
All right. Yeah, we'll wait about a half. I'll give you a call back.
All right. Power's down.
Cool. So they're going to be back in about 25 minutes
Yeah.
then?
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys end up coming back in at this point. They unwinch the door, let you guys get warm. You dole out the gear, and at this point, Poppy's working on the pistol, getting it operational.
And the compact.
What's that?
The combo
And the
pack.
compact.
Oh, yeah. That looks like it's going to be okay. It's just a matter of cleaning it off.
Mm.
That was actually covered because those are they're not directly exposed to the elements. It's usually covered by like tarp or the canvas.
Okay.
So
I'm going to play with that and see if it comes on.
okay, it's not responsive.
So we're gonna figure out a way to power it then.
I would like to take a look to see if unless Poppy's working on it, how to power it. If there's anything here locally, if we can.
I mean, you could certainly try.
Hook it up to the generator?
Your military background, however, would tell you it probably needs to be charged.
Would that be something we can charge with our current generator?
You sure could.
Okay, I'd like to try that.
Yeah, again, the equipment is old, but military-wise, you're probably the most familiar with a lot of the stuff here.
Okay.
So you would know. I mean, okay, well, if we can find the plug, we can charge it. Yeah, and the generator, even though it was hand cranked, if you've seen generators like we have nowadays, they usually have a couple sockets on there you can plug things into. So it's just a matter of getting the cord out of the communications backpack to plug in and letting it charge.
Okay.
When it does, however, the ambient light in the room kicks down by about half, which means the warmth factor is more body heat than heat generated from the heaters.
Gotcha.
Those World War II backpacks, they used to have a hand crank on the combo pack too. Does this one have that?
No, it doesn't have anything like that.
Okay.
Well, sorry guys, this is what we got to do. It's a means to an end. If it gets too unbearable, just suffer. Sorry.
Well, the benefits you have, even though it's cold outside, and the room, of course, is insulated to protect against the cold. I mean, it's not unbearable. Like right about now, it's probably 40 degrees in the room. It's cold, but you guys have got the coats on. You do still have some relative heat from when the generators were working at operation, so it's not totally uncomfortable though.
Okay.
I gotta slow down. I'm blowing my fingers.
But if you give it another, a half hour or so, the backpack looks like it's at full charge.
Wow.
That's pretty quick. When I'm looking through the backpack, is there anything that I see, any kind of labeling, anything that would maybe lead me to believe where we're located?
Nope, but there is a very proud independent brand on the backpack. So if you weren't clear before, these were independents.
All right. I'm gonna while we're all getting warmed up and letting this charge, I'm gonna break down what Chan told us about, the whole going down below and everything. Nolan, you gonna go back out again, or you want me to go? Or Poppy and I can go out instead. Like, are you able to go back out?
No, I can go. Yeah, that's fine, man. Sit across the catwalk and then take the service tunnel.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, I've been out a few times already. Anyway, I might as well just go ahead and go unless one of y'all are up for it.
Well, how familiar with that communications pack there? I mean,
I honestly, I'd probably be the best person to take it with me. I've had the most experience with it. So unless you've been on the battlefield yourself,
no, I'm just healing people when they come back to me. That's all.
understood.
And I hand her whichever gun has more rounds.
Oh, the handgun.
Yeah, handgun before.
Yeah, the rifle only has like 5 rounds.
Okay.
Well,
This should work a lot better now.
okay. Thank you.
So Tracy's, looking around, and she's been kind of edgy the whole time. I'm like everybody, but more withdrawn a little bit. And she's just like, I don't like this. We're something is out there. Chang said something is out there.
Tracy, there is probably something out there, but unless we do something now, we're gonna die in here. So
No, I get it. I completely get it, but I don't know if we should be splitting up the party.
Do you think
The power needs to come on.
Do you think it'd be warmer underground?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be warmer underground.
I mean, warm
we
enough
don't-
for us to. I mean, that's going to be kind of a while.
It's going to, yeah. I mean, it's going to be cold either way. But what if we don't hear from the other group again?
All right. How heavy is that generator?
What's up?
How heavy is that generator?
It's going to take about 2 people to carry.
All right. Well, Tracy,
Slow us down a lot.
you can do a 2-man lift on this thing, and we can stay together and take the generator with us. Because I don't know if there's a generator in the next room.
I mean, I'm all for it. I'm really nervous about splitting up our group if that's what we're going to do. I mean, I know I don't know you guys all that well, but
Well, you got a valid point.
we have like no food. We know something's out there, and if we get split up, I'm worried that something's going to cut us off.
Agreed.
We got a little bit of food. Those MREs right there, but
Okay, yeah.
Tracy, I mean, it's up to you, and it's up to Poppy and the doctor over here if y'all want to come with us. But
But
we're
that means
going.
you're gonna have to 2-man lift across the catwalk, and then down a service tunnel, and in the cold.
I say we take it, and if it gets to the point where we can't take it, we just leave it behind. But I would rather try to take this with us and make the next area livable.
I'll just do whatever you guys think is best.
Gotcha.
I mean, I would take that computer too, but if we got that pack there,
Yeah, we can't. Unfortunately, it's tied down.
I get that.
Before we leave, I would like to test the comms pack to make sure I can dial into Chang.
Sure. So you wait until the designated time to try and communicate, and instead of using the computer at this point, you click on the backpack and find the relative frequency that would have matched the internal comm. Yeah, he comes through. He actually comes in through a little bit clearer this way.
Nice.
Cool.
He says, "So it sounds like you found some communications equipment."
We found something. Yeah, it seems like this actually, I can hear you better, so this is gonna suffice for now.
Okay.
Party is likely gonna all travel together to the catwalk and try to get the power on. So, I guess keep me dialed in.
All right. Then I'll keep this on for as long as I can
Okay.
to stay in touch.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, likewise. Good luck.
Same.
All right. 1 second. Where did it go? All right. 1 second, kiddos. Doink.
Like Celebrity Jeopardy.
Exactly.
I'll take the rapist.
Yeah. That's therapist.
So I'm a full-on rapist. So what you say? I meant philanthropist.
Anal bum cover. That's an album cover. Celebrity Jeopardy's the best. Okay, so let me go ahead and transition this over. That, my friends, if you can see the screen, is what you're looking at when I say catwalk.
Oh, shoot.
All right. High wind.
Is that Dead Space?
Oh, that's super spooky.
Yep. Enjoy.
It's gonna be a party now. Uh-huh.
All right.
Getting on the catwalk. Oh, check that out.
Yep, as Jess said, that's a note for me. But that's basically what you're looking at there, minus the lights, of course. And there are high winds up at the top as you make your way through the previous room that you guys had just found the equipment in. The flare is still going, so there's still some illumination. You guys can see kind of where you're going. You get up to the door that would have led to the main access hallway that connects the both sets of buildings, and you can see the ladder that extends up to the top, to basically get up onto that catwalk there.
Okay.
So making it across is a bit difficult. There is quite a bit of a headwind coming across. So what I need everybody to do is give me a physical and labor.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Ooh. Are perfect rolls like a factor in this?
Yeah.
Because I got an 8 and a 4.
Nice.
The opposite of perfect rolls.
Brittany, did you roll a 3?
A 3.
Rolled a 1 and a 5.
You rolled a 1 and a what?
You get the
5.
whole? No, it's 2
Okay.
1 and a 5.
Well, that's not too bad. Todd, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Oh,
I got a high. I'm happy.
Missy?
I got 9.
9. Okay. And let's see.
I got 12 of 12.
I think my new dice need to go in a dice jail.
I almost want to buy one of those. Just
A
to say,
dice jail?
just to say I have one, not because I really use it a whole lot. Oh, nice. Okay, so the wind is battering pretty much everybody as you're coming across. Just it's colder. You're up here in the direct element at this point. Getting about halfway across though. Doing your best to kind of hold onto the railing and make your way across. At that point, though, the winds connect with Poppy, and like in almost a blur, she's up off her feet and like grappling onto the railing for dear life. Just it caught her just right. And literally, you just like she had one hand, and that was the only thing that was helping her. Like she just almost did a complete Greg Louganis, off the side.
Oh, geez. Who's closest to her?
At this point, Nolan was, and Nolan instinctively just grabbed the other hand. Although she's still dangling off the side, he kind of dug in, leaned down to anchor her, and before you even had a chance to scream, Poppy, you're all of a sudden looking down at this black, crevice of a, or ravine, or that just no light, and the night just kind of swallows up. I mean, that instantaneous it hit you.
Ah.
Dang, Mary Poppins.
Okay. I don't like this place.
So at this point, Nolan, you've got her, but are you going to try and bring her in?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
No, he's gonna let me go.
I'm like,
Do you need help? I mean, do I need to drop the generator and give you a hand, or?
So I'm assuming Tracy had the generator. Who else was holding it?
I was carrying the generator with her.
Okay.
I'm gonna swing back there and try and grab it, like put my arms around Poppy's waist to bring her back down.
Okay. So both of you give me another physical and labor.
Physical. Yeah.
Do I have to roll also?
Not yet.
Okay. Ah.
I got a 9.
Nice.
I got a 6.
You got a what?
I got a 6.
Okay. So Nolan, you definitely have a solid hold on her at this point. Lee comes in to grab her, and the ground was slippery, so she ends up slipping and smacking her knee into one of the posts.
Ooh.
Given kind of that nice wake up stinger, like it smarts right on the funny bone. Poppy, give me a physical and labor check.
It better not be a 3.
I know.
10.
Nice. Okay. So, despite her bad positioning, Lee and Nolan latch onto like her or her clothing, and a very petrified Poppy gets pulled through the bars and is back on the actual platform, as you guys are kind of like all like down on your knees at this point. And you actually have something firm underneath you again for the first time in about a minute.
Dang.
Oh gosh. Thanks, guys.
That was like a Poppy kite.
Yeah, almost.
I think I need a string.
When she's down, I'm gonna link my arm in hers so that she doesn't fly away again. Hopefully. And
Okay.
keep walking.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a human centipede, guys. Let's go.
That's going to work for Poppy, Lee, and Nolan. Tracy and Dr. Kane are carrying the generator. So it is harder to blow them off.
I was gonna say the generator should be able to keep them down though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're not moving all that fast either.
Okay. All right.
But you are able to navigate across, and it is hard to hear up here too. I mean, the wind is just howling like a mother. Yeah, I mean, it just, and every so often, like a big burst will just fly in and hit you. I mean, you're ready for it now. But like, I mean, you can tell like the strength of this. You're really surprised that the catwalk isn't showing more damage than what it already shows. You managed to make it across and then down one of the access ramps off to the side, which leads to basically the elevators that would take you down to the main complex at this point.
Okay.
The elevators clearly do not have power. And it is about a 15 to 20 foot drop.
Oh man.
If everybody would give me a mental and notice check.
Mental and what?
Mental and notice. Mentos. The fresh maker.
Okay, these dice are going in dice jail too.
Oh no.
I got a 3.
You got a 3.
Oh, no.
A 3, 10.
Not bad.
I'm really out of my element here.
I got a 13.
Nice.
I got a 4
Oh.
and a 1 on my D4.
Woohoo. All right. So, did you guys at this point you're literally kind of at your wit's end. You're like, we need power to get down. You've got to be kidding me. You're just like at this point kind of scrambling around and trying to get out of this wind because every so often it hits again and there's that nervous, especially for Poppy, that she's gonna go over the side, or
It's
something.
gonna be it.
And then you hear almost it's not quite a howl, but there's a low kind of an odd low kind of bass to the whipping wind that's coming around.
Oh no.
And so it kind of gives you kind of a pause to look around. Not so much for the doctor and Poppy. They've had enough. They want down, especially Poppy. Screw this. Try to find the generator. And Poppy's like fumbling around. It's like looking for something. And you find a spot where one of these generators would connect. So Poppy's like on her hands and knees at this point, just like pushing snow around, desperate already, just... and just off to her left is the good doctor, kind of doing the same. You two were standing and looking around, and so was Tracy when you heard this. And then, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. So let's see, Todd, would you like odd or even?
Oh shoot.
Always odd.
Always odd. Okay.
Odd Todd. So.
All righty. We will go with that. That makes you even, Brittany.
Okay.
Okay. So that sort of bass, almost groanish tone to the wind kind of stops for a second. And right about that moment is when, Poppy's like, flagging you guys down, and Tracy looks over because she's found something that they could use probably the generator to, which obviously means you'll have to leave it here, unfortunately. And right at that moment, you end up seeing something come flying to the wind And not only does it connect with poor Poppy,
Oh man, you've got the shittest luck.
but there's also this. Have you ever heard that sound in Hollywood pictures when there's like that guttural kind of thump, something slams into like almost like a 357 hitting raw meat?
Oh no!
I know what you're talking about, man.
Like a well, something ends up striking her, taking her kind of up and over. Like literally, she clears the doctor, who was trying to stand, and like literally flies up over her, and she ends up. You see like this javelin-looking thing
Oh shoot!
caught her right in her side.
Oh no!
So there's a piercing in her coat, and it takes her like up and over. And it literally, just as you guys do the like, oh no, and she's like screaming in pain, you see her get dragged almost instantaneously down the other side
Holy
of the
shit!
down the other side. So
Can we grab her? Like,
I'm
is it-
gonna jump and grab her legs, man.
give at this point, I will allow for a physical and notice check as your nerves are instinctively just jump and grab.
I think I noticed something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
8.
I
14.
didn't cut it.
What'd you get, Todd?
A 7.
Okay, and what'd you get, Eric?
8.
8. Missy got a
14.
14.
Yeah.
So maybe it was your combat nerves, and in fact, you know what, Missy? I think you actually have a distinction that might help here. Let's take a look real fast. Lee, veteran of the Unification War. Would you like to add a D8 to your roll, or would you like to gain a plot point and only roll a D4?
No, I'm gonna roll my d8 so Poppy doesn't die
Okay.
because it adds to the total, right?
It adds to the total. Yes, it does.
Thank goodness. I got a 6.
Oh, nice. So not only there was something in your gut when that sound happened that you were a little quicker on the step. Like you knew something else was coming. There was just something instinctual about it. And you were already like 2 steps in as everybody else was trying to jump and grab and unfortunately miss. But you end up basically body tackling her and that spear thing like almost completely and throwing your weight down on top of her, which hurts more, Poppy. But it has made you significantly harder to pull.
Oh gosh!
And Missy, when you look up, you can actually see in the blackness some red eyes actually looking at you.
Do I have can I take a hand free to grab the pistol out of my boot or side and
you can. We're about to enter combat rounds at this point. But you have basically paused the pull with your additional weight and kind of speared Poppy down to the ground, making it harder to pull. So she was not able to clear the whole distance, and you have a hold of her.
Okay.
Poppy is hurting. However, as we are entering the combat rounds, you end up hearing. You end up hearing 4 rounds, and then you end up hearing them fly. Poppy and Lee, you end up hearing them whiz over you.
It's getting hairy, man.
We need to get the hell off this catwalk.
All right.
Did we get that generator plugged in?
You have not as of yet.
Did was I able to notice that that's what they were trying to do, or what?
You did notice that that's basically what Poppy was trying to let you guys know, that, like, in her panic to get the hell off of this, she found something that you guys can use the generator on.
Okay. And you said it's not something that one person can lift, or
One
can I
person
try and go?
well, you could definitely drag it there. I mean, as far as like trying to make it portable, it requires 2 people. But if you're strong enough, yeah, you could, heave it with the one and just, drag it over there.
I'm gonna try and drag it into the socket or whatever it is.
Well, you'll have to take a cord to connect it. But if you want to make that your action, you definitely can.
Yeah, I do.
So everybody go ahead and give me just a D12 roll.
Me too.
Yes.
10.
5.
All right.
You said a D12?
Just a D12.
I got a 7.
5.
Okay.
Get out of there.
All right. So we are starting off. Can anybody beat a 10?
I was at 10.
You were at 10. So at this very moment, what ends up happening is you see that as you were instinctively pulling the generator over to this plug-in to get the lifts to work, you saw Tracy pull out a handgun that you didn't know she had.
Yeah.
And she popped off a burst of rounds at whatever the hell it was that fired off that spear thing. Now, in her haste, it doesn't look like she struck much, but she did hit it once. And you heard a howl that didn't sound human.
Shit.
And whatever it was has bolted.
Okay.
So that was all at 10, and Poppy, you end up feeling the whatever was pulling you go loose.
All right, Eric, you got.
So that was
All right.
10.
Okay.
So 9, 8, 7.
7. I was gonna cut the rope, but that's holding the spear.
Mhm.
But instead, I'm gonna pull it in, like so that.
Okay. Yeah. So it can't be pulled.
Right.
Right. Okay. So you just run over there real quick and just start, pulling that rope back in as quickly as you can. That was at 7, 6, 5.
5.
So that'd be everybody else because Brittany was at 5 as well. So Missy, Brittany, what are you two doing? There was some gunfire. You hear some movement behind you, and the doctor has run up real quick to start pulling that rope.
I'm
Brittany, what are you doing?
gonna groan, and then freak out and like grab. Is it like it's through me, right?
Yes, it is through your side.
Oh shit, dude.
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Okay.
I don't know what I can do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait.
Shove it the rest of the way through and pull it out the other side. That's
Oh
the
gosh,
Oof.
I don't think I can do that to myself.
for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm going to roll off of Poppy and put myself between her and whatever was out there.
Okay.
With gun drawn, I'm going to see if I can see anything from my current position.
Okay. So it is hard given the lack of lighting, but I will give you a chance. Go ahead and roll mental and your notice. See if you can spot whatever it was fleeing. If you want, you can still use Veteran of the Unification War.
Okay. So
Now-
add a D to it.
Well, you can use a D8, or if you want to earn a plot point, you can roll a D4.
Okay.
Plot points basically allow you to power up or do something super special if necessary, and basically gives you your highest die to roll in addition to it, like an extra die.
Like a blood point.
Yeah, like a super blood point for vampire or something.
Cool.
I'll do the D4 and add a plot point then.
And take a plot point. Okay. Make sure you write that down. You've got a plot point.
Okay. 8, 4. I have a total of 8.
Okay. Whatever it was is probably used to the terrain here. So by the time you got up to your feet and started looking around, it's already somewhere in the darkness disappeared. So at this point, Nolan, pulls out that cord and hand cranks the thing out there. It takes a couple seconds for the one of the lifts to come on.
Okay.
And of course, it's making god awful sounds against the wind as it's in operation for the first time in who knows how long. But you're calling it up to you.
Got you.
So it's like slowly coming up.
I'm gonna turn around and make everybody aware of the fact that the elevator's on its way up, and everybody needs to get over here so we can get the fuck off this catwalk.
And Tracy's just she has a look in her eye, like, what's a good way to put this? Let's go back to Jack Burton when the creature came out in the Underdark. And he's just screaming, "What'll come out no more?" She has that look. No, yeah, she just has that look of like she probably expected something, but is not sure what the hell it was she saw. So she still has the gun drawn out. She's shaking a little bit and just focusing over in that corner.
It's still trying to process.
Yeah,
got you,
Dr. Kane. You have a bunch of serviceable cord now. And you have a new patient.
I do. So, like, when I'm looking at this, like, seriously, that javelin that went through her, it's like, do I take it all the way through? Because I can't imagine pulling it. So
well, I should say not like all. I mean, not like all the way through, as in the sense of, like, it cleared her and then flipped sideways and yanked her, towards or something. It's like embedded in her and it's poking out the other side.
All right. But is it barbed in the aspect that because if it's barbed, I can't pull it out because it'll cause more damage.
It is.
All right.
Oh, shit. Of course it is.
And it's rope on this thing, right?
It's actually getting a look at it. It's a high grade nylon, which is really odd given the fact that this javelin thing was wood.
All right, I'm gonna cut the nylon because I don't want to pull all the cord through her, and then I'm gonna, Poppy, this is gonna hurt.
Or you could try and snap it.
How thick is
it? Is wood. Well, javelin is a hand javelin size, so it's small spear.
So it's like that thick though.
An inch or two.
Yeah, but it's not terribly thick.
Oh.
Well, okay, that's a better option because if I snap it, I'd rather leave it in the wound and take care and heal her in a better area than out here. So yeah, I try to snap it.
Okay. So go ahead and let's say I bet you have. I'm pretty sure you've got something here. So yes. So you would roll your. So we're going to say it's physical at this point because you need to snap the staff. You're going to use your fix, but you can also use medical student, which is a distinction that you can add to it. You can also, if you would like, instead of rolling the extra D8, if you want to pick up a plot point, you can roll a D4 instead.
No, I got to save her. So I'm going to use a D8.
Okay. So then it's going to be your strength plus your fix plus a D8 because you are a medical student.
All right, so I got physical And I got fix.
Mm-hmm. And then an additional D8.
Okay.
So basically, you have 3 dice. 3 dice you can roll to really rack it up.
Oh shit. 18. 20.
Holy shit!
Nice.
I got 2 6s and an 8.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, 2
Really
6s
glad
and
we
an 8.
Okay.
brought him.
I'm like, bam! Yeah!
So not only do you manage to snap this off, you also discover that for some reason Poppy has amazing shoes on right now.
For a second, the snow stops and there's a rainbow.
Yeah, I know. No, you end up like you maybe it's the concern, like your the doctor mentality, your bedside manner comes over you at this point.
Head
But
to toe to make sure what else is hurt, and I noticed, damn, those shoes are nice.
yeah, but you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that she's become your patient. You are in a very dire emergency situation, and there's just a part of you that says, "I'm good." You just tell yourself, "I'm going to make this break is going to be perfect. There's not going to be complications." And you just go and you quickly snap it real quick. And when you get the snap completed, you can see from the at least the initial tissue trauma that it has not struck any major. There's no major arteries or internal organs that were struck.
I tell her, Poppy, you're gonna be fine. Nothing major was struck. You're gonna be fine. We just need to get you inside.
Yeah. So maybe whatever it was that fired on her, like replaced her boots with really gorgeous shoes or something, and then ran away. You know.
Shoes right now. Those times are past.
She's all, did they get blood on my shoes? That's the important thing.
So, but you, and at this point, you are going to have to help her to the lift. Though somebody's going to have to help her to the lift.
I'll help her.
Okay. So, but the lift finally, comes up. Everybody, gets back over to the lift, and you can still hear something stalking around out there. Like, but whatever it was, like when it caught that bullet, surprised it or something, and it's at this point kind of stalking. Like it needs to remeasure its prey because maybe it bit off more than it could chew initially. So, I mean, you can tell something out there in the shadows is still moving around and watching you. And as that elevator kind of, comes down, creeps down, you can hear like towards the top, of that catwalk, like, like kind of, stalking back and forth as you get down, to the bottom. And you can at this point see the other side of that main hallway. And while there's no door there is a big enough hole that you guys can get in onto the inside, past the wreckage.
All right, let's make our way there.
Okay. So you kick past a little bit of the debris and get on the inside. So now you're no longer in the direct path of the freezing chill or whatnot. You no longer have the generator, which is still running up top there. And so you're inside here. And at this point, Tracy pulls out a flare to illuminate the inside. It's pitch black in here. And it looks like this was probably the main thoroughfare. It was the main artery back and forth between the two complexes. So what you're seeing, what you're feeling beneath you is actually hard floor cement, like tarmac. Not as much snow on the and whatnot because it's still partially covered in here. So if you lay her out, this would be a good spot to work on her.
That's my call. Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to end up going inside the complex, and while it's going to be it would probably be more compact. It also means if that's something out there stalking you, you're not going to have the range to try and stop it.
Nope. I pulled the med pack out. I looked at her. I observed to see what we need to do.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go up to the entrance of the tunnel and a gun at the ready and just kind of not patrol but look out.
Okay.
I'll join her with the rifle and the 5
Okay.
rounds.
All right. And Tracy's just kind of stalking back, behind you guys, just intently looking out that hole as well. So Todd, same situation here. So, but instead, you are going to be rolling your mental at this point, since you're not trying to do it physically to break something off. It's going to be your mental, your fix, and your medical student.
Is it fix or is it treat?
Or, sorry, treat.
I am not mechanical.
Lies.
It's all repair.
I know.
Kidding. Just kidding. I'm a robot.
Yep.
There's a lot of wires in here. No.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I got mental, I got treat, and what was the last one? I'm sorry.
Medical student. It's one of your distinctions, so you'll be adding a D8 for this particular role.
All right.
Basically, because you're that damn good.
Yeah. Okay. Another D8. I got a 19 and a 10 on the D10.
Nice. All right. So maybe there was something about this old med pack. Maybe you misjudged it, and when it looked like, when you thought initially it's like, oh man, this is faulty, but there was enough because it had been frozen this whole time. Maybe it didn't biodegrade like it should have, but there was enough in it that actually still allowed you to help numb the wound and decrease the pain. And then you were able to patch her up and kind of get the bandages around her waists and sew her up enough that the wound is not going to continue to bleed.
Nice.
Yay.
And in fact, you did a good enough job that there's minimal scarring.
Yay.
Nice.
Wow.
Provided she doesn't jump around and re-aggravate the wound.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
No more catwalking for me.
Your modeling days are over.
But those shoes,
Oh, that's fine. Dudes dig the scars.
Yep.
Fine.
Yeah, baby.
Pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.
That's like a word of Whitney.
Yep, that's the replacements, baby. Would you stop and get? Dogs are going nuts.
When I'm with Poppy, I'm gonna look up at Tracy and I'm like, Poppy's gonna be okay. Are you gonna be okay?
She's like that. No, I'm fine. Disturbed, but I'm fine.
All right.
And she, whispers to you two as you guys are, keeping an eye out. And she whispers. She's like, "Can you see it?
Nothing yet.
It's just out there on the ledge."
Is this something I can see, or is she?
Go ahead and roll a mental and notice.
As soon as I feel Poppy stable enough to move, I'm gonna tell them that.
I got 8.
I got 11.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Nolan, yeah, you're not sure, but Lee, I mean, she's describing it, and you almost think you see a silhouette like near the other lift. No red eyes, no nothing, but like there's a silhouette of something just hunkered down, staring.
Does the rifle that Nolan has have any kind of scope or?
Nope.
It's just
Okay.
iron sights.
Yep, just iron sights.
All right. Too bad. All right. I I see something. I don't know what that is. What, can you tell what it is, Tracy?
She says, I don't know. But whatever it is, it ain't man.
It ain't man, but it's clever enough to use a spear or a javelin.
And he had a gun. He fired 4 shots at us.
She says, no, that was me.
Oh.
I don't know where we are. I don't know what this thing is. This isn't it out of character. Is this something that I may have come into contact before? This type of species?
No, not. Well, there's no species. I mean, aliens
Whatever.
are a complete hoax. I mean, there's people that believe in them, but if you saw the episode with when they went to the space station where they met their basically they got mailed a package that was supposedly a dead body and it was their friend. In that episode, Kaylee and Simon go walking around through a carnival and they're like, oh, check out the real alien. And Simon's like, yeah, that's just a cow fetus upside down. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. But it's gonna come back. So we need to figure out what our next steps are and make sure we're fortified against whatever this thing is, because it's got us in our sights and it's not gonna leave us alone.
Doc, is Poppy all right?
Yeah, she's almost stable to go.
Yeah, we need to move then.
Let's lead on, Poppy. We gotta go.
Okay.
So she, Tracy keeps the pistol out, but it's just kind of slowly walking, behind everybody. You guys get down to the down the rest of the way. There was there's a wrecked for lack of a better term, it's the equivalent of a military golf cart. It's just basically one of those things you would putter around the base in for gear or shuttling people back and forth.
Gotcha.
And it's wrecked and twisted like off to the side. It was probably burning at one point because it's got some scoring on it. When you guys are walking through here, however, you can see the remains in the hallway, and you can tell that there was a firefight in here at some point in time because there are some potholes where gunfire has had been strung out. And as you get to the main door, the door is actually open. It's actually not like the doors that you've been seeing before. It's actually a large blast door, but the door itself has been wedged open. Looks like it took a blast of some kind and just didn't completely close.
And we're able to shimmy in.
Yeah. You've got if you could tickle my camera, you got about like that. So if you go to your side and step in, you're just fine.
While we're walking through and we see the old evidence of the firefight, is there anything in particular that I can tell from the fight, given my experience?
Sure. You can definitely take a look. Nolan, if you want to do that as well, you have an appropriate distinction for it.
Got you.
Yeah, so Tracy, you're going to be looking at your Veteran Unification War again, and Nolan, you will be using
the agent.
Top Secret.
Okay. So what are the other two? You said.
Oh, so it's going to be mental. So you're looking at mental and notice, but you can add those two particular distinctions to this roll.
Okay.
And I'm using a D4 for this, so I would gain another plot point, correct?
If you're going to use D4, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will be.
Hey, Cool Imp, what's going on? No, you cannot set their brown coats on fire.
17 altogether.
Oh,
I
Hey,
have.
question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have a 10 altogether, including my my D4.
Okay, so you're not too sure. I mean, obviously there was a firefight. You're still trying to figure out like where the firefight was originating. Nolan, you think you've seen something similar to this before, at least in like close quarters, just in your line of work, in your background. And if you had to guess, whatever it was that happened here was actually coming away from the complex. So like the firefight was actually probably coming from the complex and going back towards the way you came.
Got you.
So kind of in reverse order.
Got you. They're being forced out. Sounds like some alien shit to me, man.
There's.
Well, you know what they say, right? Nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be sure.
That's true.
Why don't you put her in charge, man?
Game over, man. It's game over.
You think it's really aliens?
No, I was speaking out of character. I meant like
No, I mean
how
that
they
could have
had to-
been. I
how they
mean
had
that
to
could have been
fight
a jest.
going backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have.
I honestly, seeing what we saw, we have no idea what the hell this thing is, and the sounds he's making is pretty intense. Or it, I shouldn't say he. We don't know. It could be a big girl. I don't know.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and say, "Let's get inside."
I mean, I never seen anything with red eyes like that. Maybe it is aliens.
Maybe it's mechanical. We don't know.
Yeah, even Tracy's just like shrugging. She's like, I don't know. Whatever it was, it ain't man. But as you guys shimmy through the blast door, and of course there's still the ambient light from the I keep wanting to say torch because I'm in a fantasy mode. Not supposed to be, but yeah, the flare.
The flare.
The flare, and at this point, this is kind of the staging area for where the main, in what would have been like the main hall.
Okay.
Right in front of the door, you guys are stepping on maybe about 15 corpses that are all mummified and broken to some extent.
Oh man.
And their backs are actually to the door the way you guys are coming in.
Oh wow.
Oh,
How were they killed? I'm looking at the bodies.
Good question. So since you are that badass of a doc, you are going to need to roll. Let's see. There we are. So we're going to go mental. Let's go mental, your knowledge, and medical student would be an appropriate distinction. I mean, basically what you're asking for is right up your alley.
Yep. I'm gonna roll a d4 on the medical student for the plot point.
Okay. So make sure you mark that down.
Oh shit. 5, 6, 7. I got a 10.
Got 10. Okay. So the first thing you come across is they're dead. Yeah. No. As you look at them superficially, you can tell they took some sort of physical trauma. If you had to guess, it was bladed of some kind.
Oh.
Because there's a sharp cutting laceration in at least 3 of them. Upper torso wise, that looks like something probably chopped into them.
Okay.
There are some gun wounds, but it's hard to say like if they're if they're just flesh wounds or what is it gunshot? Yeah, so there's some GSWs, but it's hard to say if it's if that was the killing blow or if that was a grazing shock. You don't see necessarily any of them that struck them immediately in the head, but not many of them. Most of it was some sort of physical bladed weapon of some kind.
So no, when we talk bladed weapon, we're talking like the cuts the size of like a dagger cut or like an axe or a sword cut. Like what?
Probably not quite like a sword. Probably more like something like an axe.
So I point that out to them. I'm like, Nolan Lee, come here, look at this. I go, you got gunshot wounds, but these are chopping marks here, like an axe, whatever was coming at them.
Am I able to tell any other detail beyond that?
Why doesn't everybody else just give me a mental notice check at this point?
Yeah.
8.
4.
Brittany got a 3 again.
A 3.
These dice are going to jail. I'm gonna switch that up.
So Eric, what'd you get?
8.
And Missy, what'd you get?
I have a 4.
Oh.
I don't
Beep,
see
beep, beep, beep.
Are those wounds from a bladed
Yeah.
a bladed object? Because I can barely tell.
Yeah. So her question's like, so just her initial question's like, was it a bladed axe? And then by the time you ask the question, you're like, oh wait, duh.
And then on the bottom of the screen, it reads, "Everybody disliked that."
Yeah, and Eric, as you're kind of like looking around, you're looking at like what happened and whatnot, and you end up seeing over to like the far left of this staging area, which is not uncommon for these places to have fallback safety zones for like if fire breaks out or and fire extinguishers and crap like that. And you see specifically where the emergency fire hatchet is missing.
Oh shit.
And that is where we'll pause for this evening.
Oh man, that's a good cliffhanger, man.
Yay, nobody died.
Yay, close though.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I came super close.
Good stuff.
So I hope everybody had a good time. If you had fun, I had a great time playing.
Brittany, have you ever had a javelin go through you in any of these games? Have you played?
I think that's a first. I mean, I've been nearly bifurcated before.
Oh,
This is true.
Yeah, but this not by a javelin.
dope.
Yep. I still think we probably should have given Poppy some amazing shoes or something, just for the, just for the impact.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Well, the blood from her wound would make the soles of those shoes red just the same.
My new signature asset.
Yeah, there you go. Replace the gun and just shoes. But since you're a weaponsmith, they would be boomerang heels.
Sounds real practical on that catwalk. Wrong kind of catwalk.
Hidden knives in there. She clasps them together, and the knives pop out the back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the toe. There's it's a steel toe shoe with a knife that sticks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, do the Bayonetta thing where they got like the bladed heel action going
Oh,
on.
there you go. That's too much, man.
Yep.
We need some of those.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you all for watching tonight. We had a lot of fun playing. If you're interested to tune in, we have Cyberpunk coming up. That is going to be this Saturday, right? We're still playing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Cyberpunk coming up, part 2 of the Biomedica Massacre.
Oh,
finding out just what the heck happened and what's going on.
gonna be good.
So yeah, got to find out what's going on, and we should have Hellcat with us and some gigantic what the fuck moments.
Yep.
All right, so thank you all for watching. Tune in again. We'll obviously have this posted up on YouTube here shortly, probably within about the next day or so. Just watch us on Facebook if you need to catch up on it. Thank you again, and enjoy your night.